Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Double Kick Podcast. We double the kick, we double the games, and occasionally we double the friends we make along the way. I am just one half of this little shindig we got here, Terry Thompson, and I'm joined as ever by, I always say the illustrious, I got to think of some new adjectives, by the, oh man, handsome.
Handsome is good.
Handsome, good, by the
I'll,
handsome
I'll
Dan
accept
Moy.
that one. We'll have to
Absolutely.
pull out the thesaurus before we record next time.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta up my word game. Dan, I was at like a poetry event yesterday. I do like live poetry showcases and stuff for the listeners. So you would think that I would be the one with the words and stuff when I think of some more things, but apparently not
Yeah,
not on the spot.
no, you still got it. It's just you used up all your verbiage
That's what
juice
it is.
yesterday.
And I gotta refill in the verbiage juice. But that only
Yeah.
happens on Monday, so I gotta wait until tomorrow.
We don't lose anything because of it. You still got your charm.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Dan, how have you been, man?
Not too bad. I was just telling you before we hit record, we are up to our eyeballs on Easter candy from last week. And I don't know how we're going to get through it because my kids can't eat them. It's too much sugar, right? So it's all up to me and Katie.
It's literally like an Easter candy is the worst because it's just sugar on top of sugar in different forms. Like
Yeah.
Peeps is just like 100% sugar.
Don't like Peeps.
It's awful.
I got over Peeps at a very young age. I don't like them. We
Yeah,
don't have any of those.
Good. That's good. I don't think I liked them at any age. They just tasted like, I don't know, sugar cardboard. And I was just like,
Sugar
not with it.
cardboard. Sugar cardboard is the best way to say it. I learned last week, someone said out of the blue, I like them when they're like hardened and crusty.
Oh God!
Like, come on, you like crusty Peeps? It's like eating like a rock hard like marshmallow. That's awful.
Yeah, no, that's awful. That man's lying to himself. Whoever that is.
I think so.
God, what's your So what's your go-to what's your go-to season for candy? I'm like a big I'm a good Halloween guy, but I feel like that's just like a cop out because you get like all kinds of candy. But I associate that with like chocolate, like Reese's and like Hershey's and stuff like that.
I mean, that's a good one. That's a good choice. My go-to season is probably early summer. It's a really specific memory, but I really like jelly beans. I'm holding jelly beans right now. But they're not the ones I like. I specifically like the Jelly Belly assorted jelly beans.
Oh.
There's like 20 something different flavors in one bag, and they're interesting flavors. So they could be marshmallow flavored, they could be coffee flavored, they could be green apple. I just like that variety. And I say early summer because I used to drive what was it, a 2002 or 2003 Toyota Camry when I was in high school. And I would just get a bag of jelly bellies and I'd plop them in the cup holder. And whenever I got in the car, I would just take a handful and just like gnaw some on my way to school or my way to work. It was like such a good memory. Windows down and everything. It was just me in my element.
That's beautiful. Oh my God.
It's such a scene, right?
No, that's like perfect like imagery right there.
Right.
So you're the type to grab a whole like handful, like not one at a time or anything, just
I grab a handful just because it's like easy access. I'll eat one at a time because I mean if you eat a variety of flavors at once, you just get like dirt, right?
Right.
So it's like a surprise every time. I'm not looking down and picking out what flavor I want. It's just what's next. And that kind of like fits my personality. I like to do a lot of different like little things here and there.
That's so true.
Yeah, I like the diversity of it all. And so I guess that kind of brings us here, right? We play so many different games and all these different flavored jelly beans.
Yeah. So your Myers-Briggs, one of them includes like jelly beans in there.
Myers-Briggs.
Somehow it all correlates together, right?
Yeah, right. I'm sure it does, right? Just like everything else in this universe.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I don't think I'm too exciting. Like I said, I just like chocolate. I'm a big Reese's guy. Anything that has chocolate and peanut butter put together, you can put that in my mouth, and I'll probably enjoy it in one way or another. The worst, oh my god, Dan, the worst thing ever, like the biggest sin I ever encountered as a child was, you're going trick or treating. You get what you think is a peanut butter cup, like a Reese's peanut butter cup. You're not looking at the packaging too deep because you're familiar with the shape. You just open it straight up because you're in deep into the candy. You're just opening and eating. You're not even looking.
Yeah.
So you open it up. You take a bite into what you think is a Reese's cup, and it's a mallow cup.
Oh
Ah,
no,
dude, and it's not peanut butter on the inside. It's like that weird, like, I don't know, marshmallow
it's like fluff.
thing.
Yeah.
Fluff. Yeah, it's like fluff on the inside. Ah, ah,
What a
ah.
disappointment.
Disappointment. It was pure hurt. I think that was my first heartbreak.
That's the
My
best
first
way to say
Reese's.
it. Pure
Mhm.
hurt. This chocolate pure hurt me.
Pure hurt me. Yeah. So I thought about it every day since, and I'm on a road to destruction with mallow cups. So anyone I
Okay.
see in a store, I immediately just like throw on the ground and stomp on them.
I don't blame you for that. I'll join you in that crusade.
Cool. Yeah, I'll send you an invite. I'll CC you on the email for
Okay, great.
the next event. Anyway, enough with the candy, Dan. We're gonna get on to the games. But before we do get on to the games, Dan, I warned you a little bit in our pre-show little meeting. I do have a game for us to play. So we did persona moves or medicine a couple episodes ago. I say a couple, it's probably a lot more than that because time's a flat circle. But this time I have something similar, but it's going to be monsters from Monster Hunter or Heavy Metal Band. Okay. I have 10. I have 10 here. All right. I'm going to go through each one. I'll name it off for you. If you need me to spell it, I'll spell it out. And you're just going to pick if you think it's a Monster Hunter monster or a Heavy Metal Band. And I picked these two because, with the persona moves and medicine, I'm like, you are probably familiar with both of these. But
Yeah,
with
pretty well.
Monster Hunter and Heavy Metals, I'm like, you probably don't know much of either.
No, not. I can't say I do. I played Monster Hunter World, I think,
Mhm.
when you, me, and a bunch of other friends played it for like maybe 30 minutes.
Sure, yeah.
And that's it. So I don't know a whole lot about it.
Fantastic. I'm in the same boat as you. I bits and pieces of Monster Hunter, but that's it. So let's just get started, shall we? I'm going to pull it up on our screen in OBS here so the audience can watch along. All right. Our first one we got, Dan, in Monster Hunter or Heavy Metal Band is Mizutsune.
Mizutsune.
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell that?
I sure can. Mizutsune.
Okay. Can you use it in a sentence?
Sure, yeah. The first option we've got for Monster Hunter or Heavy Metal Band is Mizutsune.
Gave me no context. I'm saying Monster Hunter.
Dan, your first option is correct.
All
It is
right.
Monster Hunter.
Amazing.
Good job. Great job, actually. All right, let me pull this list down. The second one we got is Arkveld.
Arkveld. Arcveld. One word?
Close. Arkveld. Okay. One word.
Heavy Metal Band.
Heavy Metal Band. Dan, you are incorrect.
Oh no.
Arkveld is from Monster Hunter. It's actually like the title, it's on the box cover or whatever for Monster Hunter Wilds. It's like one of the new monsters.
To be fair, box covers don't really exist anymore.
True.
They do, but who's perusing through box covers these days?
True. Okay, let me rephrase. It's like the image on Steam or whatever for the new Monster Hunter. It's like the title monster.
I got you. I see it now. It's like a giant, like griffin looking thing.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. In the game, he like has these like chains that are attached to like his arms or something, and he like swings them around. It's pretty cool.
Man, I gotta get into this game. All right, next.
I know, me too. All right, next we got Space Slug.
Oh, that's heavy metal.
Dan, you are correct. That is 100%.
There's no way a video game. Well, I take that back. I like to think these monsters have more fleshed out names and two very common nouns. So Space Slug seems like a band.
Okay, I like your thinking. I like your thinking. You are correct on the third one. Number 4, we got Poogie.
What?
Poogie.
Are you sure that's not a Pokemon?
I could be wrong.
Poogie.
I could be wrong. I might have looked up the wrong list.
Poogie. P-U-G-I?
Poogie. Poogie.
Poogie. Poogie.
I
Monster.
sounded out slower.
Monster.
You are correct.
I gotta look this up.
It's cute. It's cute. It's just a little pig.
Oh, look at that thing. That's adorable.
I know, right? One of these, Dan, I was looking up the list for Monster Hunters, and I saw Epona on one of them, and I'm like, no, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, no, and I clicked it, and it's literally Link and Epona, and I guess it was from like Monster Hunter Stories on the 3DS. There must have been like some crossover there, but
that's awesome. Yeah, Monster Hunter Stories. I'm like looking it up as you speak. That's pretty cool.
You. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll go on to the next one. The next one we got is Lord Buffalo.
Lord Buffalo band.
You are correct. Lord Buffalo is a heavy metal.
That's a great band name. I know, say.
Right? I know. All right. Next one we got Obscure Finks.
Obscure Finks. Finks is F-I-N-X?
No. So it's two different words: obscure and Sphinx, like the Sphinx from like Egypt.
Yeah. I'm gonna say band.
All right, you're good. Correct.
Ooh, nice.
Correct. All right, next one we got is Rajang.
Rajang?
Yep. R-A-J-A-N-G.
Rajang. It rhymes with Mahjong, so I'm gonna say Monster Hunter.
You are correct. Rajang is from Monster Hunter.
And what kind of monster is that?
I think that's a big ape.
Rajang. Oh yeah, an ape with giant horns.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. What do we got next?
That's intense.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. His fight's pretty intense as well, from what I've seen in videos. All right, Dan, this next one might throw you for a loop, and I'm very excited to read it off to you. Number 8, For Heavenly King Daviljo.
Whoa, hold on. For Heavenly King. What's after
Daviljo. D-A-V-I-L-J-H-O. I might be pronouncing it wrong.
For Heavenly Kings. Daviljo. Band?
Monster, bro.
What?
Monster.
For Heavenly Kings. Daviljo. Daviljo or Deviljo?
Davil. So D-A-V-I-L-J-H-O. Or maybe it's Deviljo. One of the two.
Either way, I still would have said band.
Yeah. Big lizard boy? Big dinosaur, it looks like.
Yeah, it's almost like a T-Rex looking thing.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, next. Actually, you got that wrong. I marked that wrong. Boop, boop, boop. Big X. We got Agatho Diamond.
Agatho Diamond. A cool name.
Not diamond, just diamond. So it's two different words. Agatho, A-G-A-T-H-O, and then diamond, like D-A-I-M-O-N.
Monster?
Agatho Diamond, Dan, is a band.
It's a band. Okay. I'm looking up all these bands after.
I know, right? All right, our last one, Dan. We got Gror. G-R-O-R-R.
Monster.
Band.
What? This was tough.
I know, it's pretty hard, right? It's pretty hard. I had to throw a loop at you. I'm like, he knows too much Persona and medicine. I gotta make this.
Oh yeah, this definitely made up for it.
Absolutely. I feel like once Pat, our friend Pat Kerner, listens to this, he's gonna get every single one of these bands.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's gonna scold me for not getting them right.
Right? He's like, yo, Space Slug is my favorite. What are you talking about? All right, cool stuff. I'm gonna count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6 right. You got the majority.
All right, 6. I got more than half. I got right.
Uh-huh.
I wonder any of you listening, if you got better than 6, find a way to let us know. Whether you send us a message, follow us on Instagram, submit a comment, anything like that. DM us. We'd be happy to talk more about this and why you know so much about these weird names.
Yeah, if you're just like happen to be like a super into like obscure heavy metal bands, and then also like really big into Monster Hunter, let us know how many you got right. We might judge you a little bit, but
Yeah, that's a very niche
right.
person.
Yeah, you're definitely like top 1% of like people in the world. Absolutely. Dan, that was a lot of fun. But we got some games to talk about. So
Yes, we do.
Cool. Why don't we just dive into it? I don't got a good segue into this first one here, but you've been playing Atomic Heart.
Yeah, I don't know if I've talked about it before.
I think you might have brought it to the show once. Yeah.
When I just like first started like playing it.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think I like this past week I got more into Atomic Heart. It's a really interesting concept. For those of you who, it's a pretty newer game, right? So for those of you who haven't played, it's like a post-apocalyptic. What would happen if the Nazis won, basically, right? In the future, and there's a lot of like automation and robots and things like that. But something goes wrong, and your trip to this utopian, I don't know if German would be the right word, but utopian European city is quickly disrupted, and the technology that they've developed is now being used against humankind. So that's all I'll say about it. Mm-hmm. It's got some, I don't know what the word I want to use is. Provocative. Got some provocative themes.
Right.
So we're talking about like skimpy robots and other innuendos.
Yeah, that was like the one main thing I heard from it when it first came out. It's like the robots are kind of wild.
Kind of wild, yeah. And as you get deeper in the game, it's like more than just the robots. And you're like, where is this going? That's yet to be discovered by me. So, but I got back into it because, it's been sitting in my library. It's always in my backlog. And I only stopped playing it because I didn't know what to do. I do that a lot, right? If I'm stuck or the controls are too confusing for me, like I did in Metroid Prime, right? If it's just as simple as opening the door, I know it's simple, the solution is simple, and I can't find it, I stop, right? Maybe after a while I return to it. Oh, that's all I had to do. Open the door. And so I did that. I did that with Atomic Heart. And it was like a matter of like finding a certain key or keys, how to traverse through a different room. And it's good fun. It's also difficult for my liking. More difficult than I expected. I'm not playing on like a hard setting or anything, but when it comes to things like the dodge mechanic, I just can't seem to time it right, like I would in any Souls-like, right? Or action RPG. For this to be an FPS and my dodge mechanic is like, I don't know, not as effective, I'm like a little more frustrated with that, but I'm sure it takes time or some type of upgrade for me to improve upon. But the concept itself is an interesting but not innovative game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Is it kind of looks like BioShocky.
I was just gonna say that. It feels like BioShock.
Okay.
Because not only do you have your firearms, you have some like electric power. I'm sure there's more to it when you progress in the game, but also you're like part cyborg or part whatever, because you're in the future and you could augment your body with robot stuff. Now, if that sounds familiar, it is, because it sounds like cyberpunk,
Mm-hmm.
2077, right? And I'm 95% sure the protagonist's voice is also the voice of V in
Oh
Cyberpunk
wow.
2077.
Really?
Yeah. It's very distinct, like gravelly, like, I don't know, punky voice.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. So whoever that voice actor is, he's got a type of game he likes to gravitate towards.
Yeah, he's getting his money.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was it? A year and a half ago, I just played Cyberpunk to completion. So it's still a little bit more fresh in my mind. So I connect the two together. I'm like, okay, this is kind of familiar, but it feels very different
Mm-hmm.
in that it's like the Bioshock um, like feel to it. And I think that's why I say like it's not super innovative. More of like I'm playing because that story is interesting to me, and I want to know what this is all about. As far as learning the mechanics, I'm like, I kind of know what to expect. I see where this is going, but it's the progression is too slow for me right now. Like
Okay.
I want to be able to upgrade quicker and stuff like that. So it's a mixed bag for me, but I do want to see this through till the end.
I got you. I got you. Are you so when you say like progression is slow, like it's like literally like you're upgrading very slowly, like they're slow to
Yeah.
give out skill points or
Yep.
whatever the equivalent is?
Yeah, yeah. So collecting, I don't know, whatever currency and finding the sexy robot closet to
Sure.
upgrade to upgrade my skills is taking
Sure,
way too long.
absolutely.
And I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but I'm just like, okay, I get it. I know what the controls are. Can you just push things along so I can make this a little bit more smoother?
Mhm.
Um, Enemies are hard, and ammunition is very limited. So most of the time, I got myself some type of melee weapon, which is like counterintuitive because I want to be able to dodge from a distance
Mhm.
these like these melee hits or whatever projectiles coming at me, but I also have to get very close to hit this enemy.
Mhm.
So that's why I say like I could use, well, I guess more ammo, but the upgrades sooner than later to
Sure.
make this a little bit more like have lengthen my play periods when I'm not feeling like I'm stuck.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a little rough like in the beginning when you're still like, you know, in the trenches of level 1 or bonus
Right,
whatever. Yeah.
basically the tutorial.
Mhm. And the tutorial and all that. So I want to talk about like the dodge mechanic you mentioned. So this game like is mostly like you're getting shot at, right? By like bullets and stuff like that?
Getting shot at, or these other enemy cyborgs are coming to like punch you, and they're fast, like they're all over
Mhm.
the place, and they're creepy. They look like people. Um, to be more specific, Terry, they look
Oh
like
no.
dolls.
Ah, God.
They look exactly like mannequins.
Oh my god.
I just, I don't. That wasn't on the cover art. That wasn't. That's not what I signed up for.
I need to keep a list. I need to start keeping a list of all the
Honestly,
games that have like
either
dolls
have
and
the dolls,
spiders
spiders, and break the fourth wall.
breaking the fourth wall. I'm like, Dan seems to bring one of these to every single episode.
Yep,
And I think
yep.
he's doing it to himself for some reason or
Probably.
another.
There's something I'm missing out on where it's like, ooh, this is interesting without seeing the red flags.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Jesus Christ. Totally off topic, but I was watching I sent it to the chat yesterday or something like a Bloodborne play along lore video and it got to the part with like Patches, like that game's version of Patches. He's just like a
Yep,
giant like spider with a head on it. And I'm like, man, Dan would hate this. And I'm sure you've
yep,
seen it like in game when you played through it, but I'm like,
yep.
this is awful.
I
T-
would hate all of that. But
yeah.
I guess with Bloodborne, it's like, it's expected.
Sure. Yeah, it's
And
all creepy.
yeah, it's all creepy. It's all Lovecraftian. And when I first played it, you first meet the doll, or the doll's not moving in like the home
Mhm.
base area, right? And I'm like, okay, it's that kind of game, and it fits the vibe, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not a shock. It is creepy, and it's like a gradual, not gradual. It's I don't know. It fits. So
Mhm.
when it comes to surprises, that's where it really gets me.
Right, right. When the sexy robots start acting like dolls and like mannequins and doing
Yep,
those weird
yep,
like movements and stuff like that, that's when it catches you off guard.
yep. And then, God forbid, like I bet you towards the end, there's going to be some type of like intimate, like one-on-one scene, and it's going to break the fourth wall and no longer
Mm-hmm.
talking to protagonist. It's going to be talking to me.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, and now I'm looking through my library. I'm like, what games could also do this?
What game should I just delete right now?
Yeah, that I haven't really started yet, and I'm looking at one right now. Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
I already know like some of it is like breaking the fourth wall, but I don't know the whole story. That's something I'm gonna play later. But
Mm-hmm. And you play as like an android, so maybe down the line, like one of them starts acting like mannequin like or something or weird
I
movements and
don't doubt
all
it.
that
I
stuff.
don't doubt it
Yeah.
whatsoever. So I'm just waiting for it.
So would you say, bringing it back to Atomic Heart, do you find yourself? I know you compared it to Cyberpunk. Do you think that like how you feel about the game is predicated by like some other games that you've already played that might have done this better, kind of like Cyberpunk or
Um,
BioShock, or do you just feel
yeah,
like yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I mean, more specifically with Bioshock. Bioshock has such a large influence on these kinds of first-person shooters.
hmm
Um, And I think there is a lot of inspiration from the Bioshock series. Um, but that those are big shoes to fill, you know. It's widely acclaimed. And people are still playing Bioshock to this day, right?
hmm
Even if they have like lower impressions for like Bioshock 2 or Infinite, it's always going to hold in high regard for a lot of people. So,
yeah,
how could you not think about that game when you're playing
sure,
something like Atomic Heart? Um, but I think overall, this game did get mixed reviews. Just being very surface level, it is what it is, right?
hmm
And it's nothing too deep, and you play it and you move forward. So, Bioshock is a game that had huge replayability. Um, I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens with my experience for Atomic Heart.
yeah. There's a space for these kind of games that you just play and move forward.
Yeah,
And not every game needs to be the 100% banger.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely. But is the story gripping you? Like, are you interested to see where the story goes?
I'm interested enough. Like it's mysterious, and I think when we as humans think something is mysterious, we got to know the answer.
hmm
That's definitely motivating me. There's like a lot of environmental storytelling and like some like hints and clues what could be happening, but um, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So I
Yeah.
think I think that is enough to keep me going.
Cool stuff. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear more about it. It's. I remember it came out during like some Xbox showcase or whatever. It was like a Game Pass game for like when it first came out, and I was always interested in it, but for some reason it never got over the hump of like, oh, I'm gonna play it. It's like I'm
hmm
interested to see, or maybe look up like a story playthrough or something on like YouTube
Yeah.
or
This
all that.
that I think that would be plenty for people who don't often play FPS
hmm
games. Um, Watch someone else play it, get into the story, right? The mysteries of it all, and just be there for the ride. It doesn't have to be super in depth.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super interested in that alternate history stuff. So let me know how that story plays out if you do happen
Yeah,
to finish it.
absolutely, will do.
Cool stuff, man. Well, that was Atomic Heart. Let me see what I got next on my list. Dan, this is an awful and a very great season for video games because things that I'm interested in, games that I'm interested in seem to keep coming out back to back to back to back, and I don't know what to do. I buy one, I buy another, I play 10 minutes of one, I play 20 minutes of another, and I go back and forth, and I'm like going crazy. My ADHD, undiagnosed as of now, riddled mind is going insane. But one of these games that came out pretty recently is Oblivion Remaster.
Yes.
Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster, remastered by Virtual Studio. It's really cool. So the title kind of says it all. It's a remaster of Oblivion. It's still running on the engine of Oblivion. So the engine is still the bones, but with an Unreal Engine 5 like visual running on top of it. So it looks prettier. There are some gameplay improvements here and there. They added like a sprint button, which I didn't know wasn't there before. There's like a new leveling system, which is a little more akin to Skyrim. And a little bit of quality of life changes here and there. But all in all, it is still Oblivion. And just a little bit of background, Dan. I never played Oblivion. My Elder Scrolls love and lore started with Skyrim. I went back and I tried Oblivion once, like 5 or 6 years ago, but I never made it past the like tutorial jail breakout dungeon or whatever, like the first level stuff. Yeah. But I mean, this is cool. I made it past in the remaster, I made it past the jail cell. I did like the first couple missions and stuff like that. It's beautiful. First off, like the visuals, amazing. The music is really good. And it definitely plays. I feel like it plays like that old like 360. We're still trying to figure out these like Western like RPGs and stuff like that. It's wonky, but like not. How do I explain this? It's like it just feels like how you think that Oblivion feels like. It plays like it. You swing your sword how you think you would swing it in a 2006, 2009, maybe something like that RPG on an Xbox 360. But it's charming in that way. Like if you go into it expecting that and knowing that, then I think that's where the fun is to be had. If you go into it expecting a modern day RPG, I don't know what's a Ghost of Tsushima like, or I don't know what else is an RPG that came out recently. If you go into it expecting like
Assassin's Creed or something,
like an Assassin's Creed, a Dragon Age, Veilguard, something like that, I think you might be a little disappointed because it literally is just Oblivion but prettier, and then just a couple little tweaks here and there.
Sure.
But again, I'm having fun with it. I'm still getting used to it. So I'm super Skyrim pilled. So I'm like trying to like take those parts of my brain and translate them in real time to how Oblivion works. So it's taken a lot of getting used to.
I was going to ask, how many times will you purchase this game?
Hopefully once.
Hopefully once. I'm sure that's exactly what you said when you first played Skyrim.
Dan, I need to like actually count it out, but I think I bought Skyrim like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awful. But no, this one, this is like the ultimate version. Once I get it on like Steam and PC, like this is the version that like I can mod and stuff like that. So like I bought the ultimate version. That's all we need. And you know what, Dan? I didn't even buy the deluxe edition. So So that's progress.
That is growth.
Thank you. Just the base edition, and we'll wait for the mods later down the line.
Sure. But when they release the special edition or the anniversary collection, we'll see what you say.
Oh, I can't. Please.
Now, compared to your full-on experience of Skyrim, how does this stand up?
So I'm still really early on. So like I said, I got out of the dungeon and I did a first like mission or two. And like I said, I'm still getting used to it. So it plays like Oblivion, and it doesn't play like Skyrim, I guess is how I should say.
Okay.
And it's like, funnily enough, it's weird to say that like it still feels a little better to play like Skyrim in my opinion, just the movement wise and like even the combat, which is as weird as that sounds. But compared to Skyrim, it's just like I popped into that world and I was making my character and I was going down the race menu and I'm like, I'm seeing the high elves, the dark elves, the Khajiit, the Argonians, and I'm like, and it's in Unreal Engine 5, and I'm just like, man, we are so back, baby. Like, it's just, I love the Elder Scrolls world and I love the lore. So like when I pop into the game and the Emperor's guards are called the Blades, right? And in Skyrim, which is set 300 years after Oblivion, the Blades are kind of like non-existent, but there's like 1 or 2 of them that you meet up with later in the story, and you can like you don their armor and like you go on like a couple missions with them. They're really important in the main plot. But again, that group itself is like all but like 1 or 2 people. But in Oblivion, set 300 years before, they're like a major faction. They're still alive. They're the Emperor's guards. And it's super cool just like seeing like, oh my God, like I know of you guys, but 300 years later, so I know what happens. And again, this is my first time with Oblivion. So like there are people who like Oblivion is their like favorite Elder Scrolls
Right.
game and they're like super diehards. So like if you're listening to this, I'm sorry if I sound like a noob, but it's just cool to see like, you know, different tidbits of this lore and this world and stuff like that. You know, there are these things called like the Daedra gods, which are like the, you know, the demon gods or whatever. So there's like Mehrunes Dagon. He's like the big antagonist of this game. He's like the big bad boss at the end. But hearing about him in Skyrim and how he compares in Oblivion and all that stuff, it's just cool. It's just cool to hear the lore, you know, at the end of the day. So I'm
It
having
like
a lot of fun with
fleshes,
that.
yeah, like it like connects it all for you, fleshes it out, and
Hmm.
expands your understanding of this world to a level you never really thought it could. So
Yeah.
I can only imagine for people who or like initially had Oblivion as like their number one game in the Elder Scrolls series,
Hmm.
like what their experience was going into Skyrim and like seeing those dots connect in a forward motion like that.
Hmm.
Um, that's like a retrospective look, and you're like, oh wow, this is like um, not the sequel. What's the prequel to
The prequel.
Skyrim
Yeah.
for you, right?
Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. And that's exactly what it feels like. It's just like, it's going from Red Dead 1 into Red Dead 2, and you're seeing like early John Marston and stuff like
Yeah,
that. And it's like, oh wow, this is how you were beforehand and stuff like that. It's the exact same feeling.
that's a cool
But
phenomenon.
yeah, it's really dope. But again, I'm still really early on. I will come back with more thoughts down the line. But I thought, you know, I played enough and I have enough feelings about it to bring it to the show and then let those develop on, you know.
Nice. Yeah, looking forward to that. I might try it out myself.
Yeah, I think you, and it's on if you still have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so definitely give it a try. It's worth at least the character creation because you can make you could definitely make a Thicky Ricky.
I was gonna
Oh,
say, is it Thicky Ricky friendly?
oh, bro, it's Thicky Ricky. Thicky Ricky was made for the Oblivion character creation menu. So
I just a quick update. I don't know if um, you saw the screenshot when we played Baldur's Gate. I did send a screenshot of Thicky Ricky and the crew, so you know that is content that we could also share with our listeners.
yes, absolutely. I need to update the Thicky Ricky like highlight page on our
Yeah,
Instagram to
yeah.
add that character.
See where he's at these days. What
Yes.
adventure is he on?
See what he's doing. That's fun. Cool beans, Dan. We'll take a quick little break and then we'll come back with some more games. How's that sound?
Let's do it. Sounds good.
Let's do it. And we're back from our little side adventure called Our First Break. The first one, you know, I had to split up the you know, the sections here and stuff like that because you don't want to go too long. But speaking of splitting things up, I've been playing Split Fiction recently.
Nice.
And I look over here because Mallory's in the room over there. We moved our computers into like the same room and stuff like that. So she like
Yep.
games over there and I game over here. It's really cute and stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool. But we thought like we moved our computers into the same room. What a great time to play Split Fiction together.
Hmm.
So for anyone unfamiliar, Split Fiction by Hazelight Studios is kind of in that genre of like not forced, but it's a co-op game, and you have to kind of like play it co-op. So their last game, if you are familiar, was It Takes Two. If you're familiar with that one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Played a
it's
little bit of that.
yep, same thing. 2-player game. You're running through and completing, you know, platforming puzzles together and stuff like that. The gist of this one, so the gist of It Takes Two from like 2020 or 21, something like that, was like you're playing as this like divorced couple. You're shrunk down into toys,
Yep.
and you're like trying to like rekindle your relationship, or I don't even know how it worked out. We got like 3/4 of the way through and didn't finish it. But in Split Fiction, it's really cool. You play as 2 authors, and they're trying to get like their book published or whatever. So they go to this like shady like publishing house, and it turns out this publishing house is kind of like using this evil machine to like steal the author's ideas and stuff like that. Um, and then somehow these two authors, they end up in like a same blah 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 something. You're playing through the stories that they have thought of throughout their lives, and one
Okay.
author is a science fiction writer and one author is a fantasy writer. So
Okay.
you're playing through science fiction and fantasy levels, and it's really cool. It's really creative how they take these two different genres and blend them together at times, and also just like play them very separately. But I think you'd really like it. And
Mm.
there are moments in this game, Dan, kind of similar to Thank Goodness You're Here, where I just genuinely like laughed like out loud. Like
Really?
I like, yeah, dude, I full on like gutturally like laughed because of like just some moments in this game. I don't want to spoil it either for both the listeners and you, but maybe about like an hour of the way through, the game turns you into something,
Okay.
and it's funny, and you have like funny powers to go along with it, but then something happens and you get turned into another thing, and I'm just like, that's when I full on like gutturally laughed. I'm like, this is hilarious.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't expect it to go this way. And it was just genuinely a good time, and that's kind of like where we left off. So Mallory and I are about like an hour into it, and I'll bring this back more once we get more into it. But what's cool about this game is, and Haze like games kind of like in general, is only one person has to buy the game, and the other
Yep.
person just downloads like a free like friends pass on Steam. So you only really need like one copy of it to play with your significant other or something like that, or whoever
Nice.
you play it with. So it's a lot of
Now,
fun.
can we, like, if I do this on PlayStation, right? Can we play local co-op?
I believe so. Yeah, I think there's crossplay. I could be wrong. Let me look it up real quick. Ooh, question mark. Split Fiction is getting crossplay. If you're Split
Uh-huh.
is crossplay in Split Fiction. Crossplay up here. Actually, I think it already is crossplay. I think so. Yeah, I think we might be able to play it together.
Yeah. So I might play on a Steam Deck, and anyone else could play on PlayStation or on their computer. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good time. The platforming is a lot of fun. There are some, some pretty challenging parts, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think it's definitely worth your time.
Now, follow-up question. Would
Mhm.
you say it is video game noob friendly?
I would say, yeah, I would say it's video game noob friendly. If they're not used to platforming, there
Mm-hmm.
will be some parts where you might die a couple times, but the if you, like I said, if you die, it's not punishing. You just respawn like right before the platforming challenge. It doesn't like reset anything. So you just like, retry and retry again. You don't
Yeah.
respawn like way far back at the beginning of the level. It's
Right.
it's it's very
Very
friendly.
forgiving.
Yeah, very forgiving. There are boss fights, and if one person dies in the boss fight, it doesn't end the boss fight. It only ends like if both of you die.
Got it.
Um, and even with that, I don't think it respawns like at the beginning of the boss fight. It'll respawn like, you know, through however far you're like into it and stuff like
Sure.
that. Yeah. But it's cool. It's super forgiving. I think it was made with that in mind. And if Katie ever wanted to jump into it, I think she'd like it.
Yeah, we did a little bit of It Takes Two. It was
Hmm.
nice. It was endearing, and she's less experienced. So, like, I think with my gaming history, it's like, all right, we could do this. Let's go. It's so
Hmm.
simple in our mind, but I think we forget, for someone who doesn't regularly play video games, something that we think is as simple as double jump
Yeah.
or double kick, one might say,
Yeah.
um, is like a brand new skill and takes a lot more time to learn. So
Hmm.
the muscle memory is very different. So that's why I ask about like the
Yeah, absolutely.
friendliness.
Yeah, I forget about that all the time too. Like even just like, for someone who doesn't game as much as we do, or even casually, the concept of like controlling the camera and controlling your person's movement at the same time,
Yeah,
I've
that's
heard
a
is
big one.
very like confusing.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's a big one. And it's not like back in like N64 days where you would just strafe, right?
Right.
Or it was much more segmented and not as integrative as it is now. So it's, I don't know, it's easy to forget how our muscles evolved like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But like I said, I think I'm enjoying this more than It Takes Two, which
Okay.
I don't know if that says a lot. That might just be a personal preference thing, but it's a lot of fun, a lot of jokes, very lighthearted. Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, might give it a go. Well, I'll maybe watch a playthrough, see what it's like, and then I'll have to sort of pitch it to Katie.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I've been what's it called? I've been elongating these last couple of sentences of mine because I'm trying so desperately to find a transition, Dan. But I just can't. I'm reaching for the stars with this one, and I just can't find it. But speaking of reaching for the stars, you've been playing Star Wars Outlaw.
Yeah, hey, that was a good one. Yeah.
See, I got there. I got there.
Outlaws. I haven't played Star Wars Outlaws. Outlaw or Outlaws? Either way.
Outlaw or Star Wars Outlaw? Yeah, well, whatever.
It's like the most recent released Star Wars game, basically, right?
By
Um,
Ubisoft.
by Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
So I know some people have their opinions about Ubisoft.
Of course.
They've been on a pretty good kick lately, especially like last time we talked about Assassin's Creed Shadows,
Mm-hmm.
and how that was really refreshing. So I'm hoping that Star Wars Outlaws got. I'm going to look this up. Is it Outlaw or Outlaws?
Where's the S? Where's the S?
Outlaws. I'm hoping
Outlaws.
Star Wars Outlaws got the same treatment. Well, I haven't gotten very far. I've played maybe 30 minutes of it.
Okay.
And I think like when they release these like high quality trailers for games like these, the hype is intoxicating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
the expectation is set really, really high. And it was not that long ago, maybe a year ago, when the first teaser trailer came out, and you saw the protagonist going from grounded ship to space in a matter of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And that was amazing. So excited for that. And so I've booted it up on my PC. And mind you, I built a pretty good rig here. Like it's got a good amount of power and capability.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started up Outlaws,
Oh man.
it was such a mess, Terry.
Really?
It was like, it wasn't glitchy, but it was clunky and it was like jumpy.
Huh.
And if I were to rotate the camera, it would, like, the frame rate would drop tremendously.
Wow.
So disappointing. And I'm looking at my settings, and it's not like I had it on ultra, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the 30 minutes I've played so far, I've spent maybe 20 minutes finagling the settings and graphical qualities. I think it had something to do with motion blur, but everything's toned down to like medium quality,
Mm-hmm.
lower frame rate. I think I've locked it at 30 FPS.
Mm-hmm.
And it's playable. It's not
Okay.
what I've expected from the trailers, right? Or even some playthroughs. But I have this feeling, even if my PC were like fully capable of running at ultra settings, as it is for other games, for some reason, not Outlaws, if it were capable for Outlaws, there's still some like animations I feel really weird about, specifically dialogue.
Oh,
It
really?
doesn't match their lips. It doesn't match movement,
Uh-huh.
and even sometimes facial expressions when they do those close up cutscenes. So far, not a great impression. I haven't done
Oh
a whole
man.
lot but hunt for loot, to sell, to move the story forward a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
it's disappointing when you're trying to come in and just like have a good start from the get go, and you spend more time configuring an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, I found like with my PC, most games kind of just like play from the jump. I got to tweak a couple little things in here like
Yeah,
that. But yeah, that's unfortunate to hear that, it's just most of it was spent. tweaking and stuff like that. I mean, and in one sense, like it's like, man, that's just PC gaming. That's what you got to do. But in another
Sure.
sense, it's like, I believe you've sent me your specs before. I'm like, that's a good rig.
Yeah.
So it's like, you should be able to play this like game that came
Exactly.
out pretty recently.
Exactly. And a lot of the PCs that we're using these days, like there's automatic detection. Okay, based on what
Mm-hmm.
your hardware is, these are the recommended settings, and usually it's around high to ultra.
Yeah.
And I've had no issue. I think if I changed anything in the settings, it was more so like I wanted on performance versus resolution mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the fun stuff. But when it comes to just pure functionality, I think this is the first game that put me into that little box. It's frustrating. I get it happens, but I didn't expect that from a Ubisoft game either.
Yeah. No, like it's like it looks. Don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful and stuff like that. But I feel like it's not like you know pushing the edge of like graphic fidelity and like
Yeah,
or maybe it is. I don't know. So
it
apparently
could be.
someone's gonna.
It kind of puts me in like a dilemma because it's like these higher end games, these AAA games, when they come with these amazing visuals and graphics, the assumption is that, well, my PC is stronger than the PlayStation, so I would devote that to my build.
Mhm.
But now I really have to do my research and understand, should I just get that on the PlayStation so I don't have to play with any settings and just
Mhm.
plug and play, right? So I think I I don't know, trial and error, and try and decide which games would I be okay trying to tweak, and which games would I be okay possibly buying 2 copies of on 2 different
Oh man,
platforms.
ain't that something? Ain't
Yeah,
Ch-
yeah.
check and see. Do you have an NVIDIA graphics card?
No. I'll
Yeah,
pull up my specs.
got you. If you have NVIDIA's graphics card, see if you can like enable DLSS at
Hmm,
all, or if it's like what is like AMD's? It's like FSR or something like that. One of
I
those
think
like
yeah, I think it's AMD. I'm pretty sure it's
yeah.
AMD.
See if there's like an FSR or something like some kind of like AI frame generation or whatever each graphics card equivalent is or something like that. But that usually helps with those big intense like games. I'm not a PC knowledgeable super nerd or
Hmm.
whatever, so I could be wrong, but whatever.
I mean, we're just getting into it. I mean, in the past year, you and I just got into PC gaming. I
Hmm.
mean, with the exception of Steam Deck,
Sure.
but it's all a process. It's learning. It's not just
Absolutely.
the building piece. So um, it's not like a huge like game changer or even deterrent for me.
Yeah. If it makes you feel better about Star Wars Outlaws, you are playing the best version of the game because when it first came out, there were people like complaining about like the stealth missions. There was like a lot of what's it called, like automatic fail. So like if you got caught, that mission automatically failed and stuff like that. So
Hmm,
I think the developers went back and fixed like some of those things. I say fixed, maybe just like changed a
sure.
lot of like those things and like conditions and tweaked parts of the game. So this is the best time to play it, I guess.
Yeah.
Post all those updates. So if you do go along with it, it's funny how you're playing like kind of a different game than the people who played it at launch. So
Yeah, I'd never know because I didn't follow it. But it's similar to like the Cyberpunk issue
mhm,
where it
yeah.
was very unplayable at the beginning, and I didn't pick it up until it was on sale for like $10.
Mhm, yeah.
And that's when they decided to fix it all. And I had a great experience playing Cyberpunk. So
Mhm.
maybe that's where we're at today with Outlaws.
Yeah, doesn't that just say something about like modern games? It's like, dang, maybe you should wait, I don't know, 10 months, a
Yeah,
year after
no,
it releases.
I mean it's where we're at now because I mean you and I are playing games from a decade ago and we're enjoying
Hmm.
them. So if we could do that, then we could absolutely wait 1 or 2 years to play some more recent games with their new patches and stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of them age very well. So I'm in no rush.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I got to practice more. Patience with buying these games. Maybe
Yeah,
don't get them in day one.
no pre-orders.
No pre orders. No pre orders.
You all listeners here, no pre-orders. They got
Yeah,
to
no
work
pre
for their money.
Yeah, give it some time, man. Give it some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know if you keep up with that. That's something I'm interested to hear about, like the gameplay, and how it's like different than versus when it first came out.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
keep up
I'm
with it.
curious too. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars fan. Not like huge Star Wars fan, but I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm gonna enjoy it.
Question:
Uh,
Do you are you finding yourself having less fun because you're not playing as a well? You're pretty early on, but do you think you'll have less fun because you're not playing as a Jedi, or is that like kind of like appeal
um,
to you because you're not playing as a Jedi?
it does appeal to me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm also simultaneously I'm playing. Wow, I'm completely blanking on that other Star Wars game, the Jedi.
Oh, Survivor.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
one. And that's a lot of fun. Super cool to be a Jedi. But I like the entire like you. There's the lore of it all, the background, the
Mm-hmm.
story, the universe. Um, and I've played different like genres of Star Wars games, and I wasn't always a Jedi, so I don't mind that.
Cool stuff.
Yeah,
Cool stuff. Well, I'm excited to hear more about it, Dan.
me too.
Cool stuff. All right, babies and gentlemen, why don't we take our second break here, and then we'll come back with some more games. Ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, we are back better than ever, refreshed. Dan, you've been playing a game I have never heard about. Severed
Uh
Steel. What's up with that?
huh. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I
Nice.
was perusing the Steam store and I saw a game that looked so interesting to me. Um, and it like was on top of like the store like list or
Hmm.
recommendations for the longest time. And it was really pretty and really fluid and super simple. It is called Echo Point Nova. And just
Hmm.
to read it out loud, Echo Point Nova is an open world FPS that offers unparalleled freedom and thrilling speed, designed for both single player and co op, from the creators of Severed Steel, Greylux Studio.
Oh, okay.
So I was going through the comments, and there were like really short reviews, and a lot of people were saying Echo Point Nova is fun because it's like free range and you kind of get to do whatever you want. Um, but Severed Steel essentially is their like top game.
Hmm.
And so I was like, why don't I check out Severed Steel first to see if I like it, and then I'll go to Echo Point Nova.
Hmm.
They're not related at all. But they have similar mechanics and vibes and stuff. So Severed Steel is described as an intense single-player FPS featuring a stylish movement system, completely destructible levels, and an acclaimed official soundtrack. Now,
Oh,
the best way I could describe this game is to compare it to Ghost Runner.
okay.
And I don't know if you are familiar with Ghost Runner, but it was flashy, right? It was like you're
Hmm.
going through a very one-directional platformer with obstacles and walls and enemies and stuff. And you're doing it in a very stylish, quick reaction speed way.
Hmm.
Separate Steel is very similar, where your only controls are obviously to move, but to like dash slide, to dive through the air, and to wall run.
Okay.
And um, there's not a whole lot of like background to it. I think the opening scene is just it's this woman who has an arm like amputated, and she wakes up and she's trying to escape this facility. Excuse me. Now, I only played like 15 minutes of this game. It's all you
Hmm.
need to really understand what it's about. It's action packed, it's arcadey, it is intense, a lot of like cool music and visuals.
Hmm.
and you're just running around a room, shooting down these guards who are trying to stop you from escaping. And I love the controls. They're super fluid and flashy, and it's just fun to do. You could dive through windows, break the glass. It's like playing through the Matrix.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And anytime you're doing one of these action moves, wall running, sliding, diving, even slowing down time, bullets will miss you.
Oh, nice.
Like you're
I
not
love that.
actively trying to dodge. It just bullets will miss if you're doing these action moves. So, the first level that I played through is just wild. You're running around, and you're just like scrolling your mouse everywhere, and you're shooting here and there, and there's like a neon blue line on the ground that shows you where you need to go. But you don't necessarily need to follow it. You could go anywhere you want, do it however you want. You can kick down doors, you can kick weapons out of enemies. It's so fun.
That's dope.
Doesn't take a whole lot of like mind power. So I am just getting into it, and it looks like there's like a custom mode where you could customize levels, weapons, options. It's just, if you have time to kill for 5 minutes, this is a game you boot up.
Yeah, this seems like the perfect game for that. Just like, quick run through. It seems, I'm looking at the Steam page now. It looks just like super, just action, adrenaline, just running
That's all it is.
around,
Yep.
shooting. It looks like like, what is it, like Cyberpunk John Wick, something like that,
Oh yeah, super fast paced. And now, like upon first glance, I'm like, okay, this is like, I don't know, any garage developed game, right? Super simple, but after playing it for a little bit, I'm like, it's really well done. You don't need much, especially when it comes to first person shooter arcade like games. It's just as satisfying, and I think even watching people play it, or different clips that are uploaded online, it just, how could you not want to just jump in and get going right away? It's the very opposite experience than Atomic Heart, right?
Right.
Where it's like a slow, gradual progression. Here's just like, you're in it. What are you gonna do?
Right. Boom, boom, adrenaline right from the start. Like, keep it going.
So I don't see myself like playing this for like hours at a time. But in between, like things here and there, right? If I'm on a lunch break and I'm working from home, like this is something I could do for 5-10 minutes, go back to work, right? I think this is something I've been looking for a while, to fill in that little tiny void. So I'm looking forward to just like playing around with it and seeing what happens.
That's really cool, man. I like that. Is there like is there a score system? I know you mentioned it's like arcadey. So is there like, as you're playing along and something
I
like
don't
that,
know.
or is the goal just to get through like the level?
I don't know yet. I don't think I've played it long enough to see if there's a score system, but I'm sure like once I reach the end of the level, it'll show like a summary or something.
Yeah.
Of like my stats.
Yeah, this seems like the perfect like leaderboard game. Like,
yeah, that's what it seems like. Speed running or like no hits or whatever, right? Like I can see a lot happening with this game. So I don't know. We'll see. And if there's a story behind it, that's pretty cool. So far, it's been pretty nonverbal, and you kind of just interpret the pictures as they come. So I'm not playing this one for the story, but I'll welcome it should it flesh out a little bit more.
yeah, for sure. And the protagonist is giving Samus very much so with the robot arm.
Oh yeah, for
So I'm
sure.
sure, absolutely. If there's a door, like speaking of like it being like Samus, like if there is a door and it doesn't open, maybe just like try to like go up to it and see if it
Yeah.
you just have to like open it up. So just letting you know.
So far, all doors are kickable. So
Fantastic.
if Metroid could adopt that function, that would be great.
Fantastic. I'm adding it to my wish list as we
Great.
speak. That looks a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, keep me updated on this one.
For sure. Yeah, it's I haven't played on Steam Deck yet, but it said it's verified. So
I was gonna ask about that and see how does it play.
yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. But I'll try it out, see what happens.
For sure, man. For sure. Good stuff. Add that. Boom. wish listed. Mm.
Nice.
Good stuff. Well, Dan, I've been playing Pokemon Black 2. I'm gonna just jump straight into that. I don't got too much to say about it because I'm kind of just like starting right off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
But I have this long going. I'm sure I brought it up many times. This long going, like I want to complete my living decks, and with that comes like kind of like playing every single like Pokemon game and getting through it. So I'm playing Pokemon Black 2 at the
Mm-hmm.
moment. If you are familiar, this is like the sequel to Pokemon White and Black. The first one's obviously.
Yep.
Uh, this one, they Pokemon doesn't do a lot of like uh, direct sequels. I think this might be like one of the first ones they've ever done to like one
Yeah.
of their previous games. So it's really cool. I think it's set like 2 or 3 years later. So like the protagonist you play is like in the first game, his friends, like one of his friends from the first game is now a gym leader in the second game.
Okay.
And his other friend, I think is like a lab assistant or something. They play another role in the second game. So it's cool to like see those characters and how they've like transitioned like onwards and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's cool about in Black 2 and White 2, they don't come with it. It's a mode in them. It's a weird way to obtain it, but I'm playing like a not a hacked version, but I'm playing an emulated version on my 3DS, and I just went in there and like turned this mode on. It comes with a hard mode and like an easy mode.
Okay.
So how it works, I'll try to explain it. To unlock these modes, you have to have beaten the game already, and you have to have two different versions of it. So you have to have Black 2 and White 2. Two different
Okay.
versions, both of them already completed. If you want to unlock the easy mode, you can unlock it by easy mode and hard mode. You can unlock it by putting the two DSs together and they have to communicate and you have to say, okay, hard mode unlocked for yours, easy mode unlocked for yours, and
Mm-hmm.
something like it's always something so convoluted and weird, man.
That's what it
But
sounds like.
it's weird. It's weird. It's basically like from soft levels of multiplayer, weird, whatever stuff. But anyway, I'm playing like the hard mode of Black 2,
Mm-hmm.
and it is really hard. Like I just beat the second gym leader, and I fought her at least like 10 times to beat her, and I really had to like use the like the moves that don't do damage, like the tail whips, the growls. I had to lower
Right.
attack, I had to lower defense, I had to like play kind of like strategically. And it's really cool. It's really cool to like play like a mainline game that's actually like pretty difficult, and I have to like
Right.
think about the battles and stuff like that. But Black 2 and White 2 are the last 2D games in the Pokemon franchise, I guess is the word I was trying to think of. So it's nice to go back and play kind of like the penultimate version of how the sprites were, and in this game the sprites are kind of like moving in battle and stuff like that. So
Right.
it's really cool. It's a game that I definitely didn't appreciate at the time, but going back, I'm appreciating it. The music's obviously fantastic. All these Pokemon games have great music, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm having a really good time. I don't have too much to say about it. I'm still very, very early on, and this is one of my like side games as I'm playing the bigger ones. So,
Yeah.
in bed before going to sleep, I'll boot up and grind a little bit. But it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I never got into Black or White, but I always hear so many good things about those games. So I like that there's like customizability where they can make it a little bit more difficult, a little more
Hmm.
challenging, give it a new spin on it. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's something I think I'd try out in the future. I don't know if I'd go right into hard mode, but
Sure, yeah, no, absolutely. I think yeah, yeah. Don't go right into hard mode. I might go back down to easy or something like that. But anyway, if you're looking for like a classic, just like Pokemon like RPG time, and you want the sprites, I think this Black and White 2 I think is like the ultimate version of that.
hmm,
It's a lot of fun to get through. Again, the music's great, the sprites look awesome. And it's just like it's a simple time, a simple adventure, but just has that 2D Pokemon sprite charm
hmm,
still. Not that the 3Ds models are bad or anything, but it's just like I'm old. I got grays in my hairs eventually, so I like the sprites and stuff like that.
yeah, no, I mean that's classic feel to it. It doesn't overcomplicate it, and it's what we're used to. So I'm right there with you.
Cool stuff. Yeah, man. Give it a try down the line. You know, add it to
Sure.
your ever expansive list.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Pokemon's one of those things. Once you know Pokemon, like any iteration of Pokemon, you understand what you got to do, and it's almost like autopilot at that point. So
Exactly. Yeah, you know what you're hopping into. You know what to do.
exactly.
Absolutely. Well, Dan, that's it for that. Maybe I'll bring that one back every now and then as I get through it. But for now, that one's it. How about we go into our last little break? We'll come back with our quick hits, and then we'll call it a day.
Let's do it.
Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, we are back. Got our little quick hit section, and then we'll be out of here. So we talk about games, we're currently playing, but don't got too much to say to bring it to the show, or this and that, any kind of media. I'll start us off real quick. Dan, I'm still slowly working on. It's been in the background a little bit. This Zelda retrospective. So I've decided to work on two games at once. So I'm working on uh I'm forgetting the name already. Minish Cap. So I'm working on Minish Cap, and I also booted up Twilight Princess. So I figured,
Nice.
one's a 2D game, one's a 3D game. And it really boiled down to I really wanted to start playing Twilight Princess because I was super excited for that one.
Yeah.
So I'm in the first dungeon right now with the monkeys, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm loving the vibe. I'm loving the world, and I downloaded this like HD texture pack. I'm sure I talked about that on another episode. So it looks beautiful, and I'm playing it on my little like handheld. So that's fun. I'll talk about that more as I like get further into it.
Sure.
South of Midnight came out kind of recently. I don't know if you're familiar with that one at all.
Not sure what that is.
Yeah, big Game Pass game. And again, this adds to there are 10 million games that I want to play that are coming out at the same time.
Right.
So I booted this one up through PC Game Pass. I played like 30 minutes of it, loved it. And then like I don't know, Oblivion came out or something like that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't have time for all these things. But this one's really cool because it takes place in like like a Louisiana Southern type of like in the bayou type of like setting and stuff like that. You're playing as an African American like female. It has just like a lot of like different points of view that like I don't think games touch on too much. The Deep South, I guess, is the kind of environment I was talking about.
All right.
But yeah, a lot of different like cool points of view that I don't think are touched on too much in games. So I'm very excited to get through that one. I'm definitely gonna commit some time. And then I'm still working on Bully. That's kind of just like a stupid little like I don't know. I'm playing it and it's fun. Stupid little Rockstar game. Yeah, still working on it. And then Claire Obscure Expedition 33 recently just came out, and I really want to get into that one. That's one you should definitely like add to your I'm gonna playlist. You will absolutely love it.
Which
turn
one is it?
based Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Claire Obscure.
Yeah.
Claire Obscure Expedition. Oh, I saw this recently. People have a lot of good things to say about this game.
Yes, a lot of great things. Turn-based. There's a parry system. It looks really cool.
I'm all about parry systems.
I'm saying, and it's turn-based. Like that's just like up your alley, dude.
It looks like it checks all the boxes. The only thing it's missing is dolls and 4 books.
I'm saying, right? And this one's also on Game Pass. So, if you still have it, I don't know if you do, but
that is on my wish list officially.
Hell yeah. But that's it for me. My little quick hits. I'm very curious to hear yours.
Yeah, I just have a couple. Still going through Final Fantasy Rebirth. At the same time, Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy 13.
Oh my god.
Very close to finishing Final Fantasy V. Just like I said at the beginning of this episode, I got stuck. I didn't know what to do. I looked up a walkthrough and was like, this is too much work. Put it down for about a month and a half. Picked it up again just last night. And I was like, let me just try it out. And turns out it was much simpler than I had thought. So it seems to be the case. I'm very close to finishing that. The Final Fantasy Rebirth, I'm gonna milk that out as much as I can.
Sure.
Because I love it so much.
Oh, really? You like it?
I love it. I didn't grow up playing Final Fantasy VII. That was much later in life for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I love 7, the original. I love the remake. It is such a nice, it's just a nice art piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to appreciate every little facet of this game.
That's awesome.
It just fills me with joy. So I don't want that to end until the sequel comes out.
Sure.
Whatever that is. And then Final Fantasy 13. I'm going to get a little personal here.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 13 is hard for me.
Okay.
Because when I played it back in college in like 2010, 2009, 2010, it was a rough time in life. I had gone through a really tough breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes with a lot of emotions, right?
Okay.
After that breakup, I was just like going through the motions, trying to work through whatever I was going through. And I did that by booting up Final Fantasy 13, and I never finished it, right? I had mentioned that part before. But now when I boot it up and I hear the music, I see a battle scene, even like a cutscene, it brings me back as if I was going through that breakup again, right? Obviously, I don't pine for that relationship.
Sure.
That's all said and done. That's such a long time ago. I'm happy, married with children. But it's like my own perspective and reflection of myself and the path that I walked to get where I am today. It's like, it's sentimental. It's not as painful, but it just brings on a different mindset when I boot up that game. Sometimes it's overwhelming. I turn it off. Sometimes it's just like I'll play for 2 seconds and then my mind will drift.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just like let's plow through it. Let's get to the part where I knew I quit and triumph, overcome that, just like I did with everything else, and show myself that I've matured.
Hell yeah! Look at you.
Right.
That's awesome.
Probably why I started to. I don't know. I made it a goal to finish all these Final Fantasy games just to say I could.
Right. And the good thing about 13 is you got 2 more after it.
Yeah.
Of 13 as well.
I've never played it, so I know nothing about it. So I'm excited for that.
That's cool. That's one of 13 is one of Shots' favorites. So if you ever want to talk about it with him, he
for sure. Yeah. It's good. I like it. Again, it comes with a lot of that emotional baggage. So that's that. And then there is Persona 3 Remake. I started playing a little bit more of that. Another game I didn't finish, but that one was more recent. I think in the past 5-6 years, I didn't finish it. So funny enough, I played it. I say that in quote marks. I was eating lunch before we connected, and I booted up the game. I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be like 30 minutes of cutscenes anyway.
Sure.
And I'm gonna hit the auto function, and it's just gonna progress through the dialogue and all the scenes on its own, and it'd be like watching an anime. And that's exactly what that was. I didn't do a single fight. I didn't do any life sim stuff. I just watched them talk.
Yep. Yep. And then maybe 3 hours later after that, you'll get through the tutorial finally and can play the game.
Exactly. I think where am I at right now? It's still pretty early. We're trying to save Fuka from the school.
Okay. Okay.
You're like right before.
Okay. You're a little bit in, I think, right?
I think so. Yeah. She would be the first new addition to the team, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh man, it's been a second, but I believe so.
Like new addition, not like Akihiro, who's like injured and he's there, but he's not there, right? Like truly new characters. So
yeah, right. Because then she comes in, and then the redheaded girl, she steps away from like the survey part and actually gets into the team.
Yep.
Right. Cool.
Super still deep in the tutorial, but happy that I'm making progress.
Cool, man. Maybe, God, I want to go back to Persona 3 so badly. But I don't at the same time. It's so long.
It's a beast.
It is long. That's cool, though.
And that's all I got for my quick hits.
Fantastic. Cool stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, nays and dems, I think that that really wraps it up for our episode here. Thank you so much for listening, for giving us part of your day to listen to us talk about games and just the rigmarole, I guess. You can give us a follow at Double Kick Games on Instagram. We always post when episodes go live there, and always some other fun stuff. You can check out all the Thicky Ricky lore on one of the highlights up there.
Oh yeah, that's growing.
Yeah, it's growing. We're adding to it. We got to update it with the Baldur's Gate 3 one though.
I did a quick search on our Discord and I just typed in Thicky Ricky, and he's everywhere, man.
Fantastic.
Like he's just a world traveler.
I gotta update that. I'm gonna update that. We should write like Thicky Ricky like compendium one day, and just like everything he's appeared in, and all of his stats and stuff like that.
I would double down on Thicky Ricky.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's anything in the world to double down on, it's Thicky Ricky.
Yeah, make it count. This isn't for nothing.
Thank you so much for listening. Again, Double Kick Games on Instagram. It's where everything is, always will be. And until then, Dan, I've had a lot of fun.
It's been fun.
Okay. Good night.
See ya.